As the demand and fame of cryptocurrency increases, one of the most important properties that blockchains need to take into consideration to ensure that they can supply enough cryptocurrency in the world is their scalability. It is their capacity to match the transaction processing speeds that the global world needs. Ethereum has been planning to improve its scalability, security, and decentralization by releasing a series of ecosystem upgrades. The merge, which is second in the series, was released last September 15, 2022. The pre-merge Ethereum system cannot meet the criteria for the scalability needed in today's world. With the new upgrade, it is expected that their proof of stake will allow it more scalability while still maintaining a secured and decentralized network. This upgrade will surely entice a lot of people to invest in cryptocurrency, specifically to Ethereum. Thank you for watching Diversified Streams, your go-to YouTube channel for all things crypto and finance. Be sure to check out our community post about these subjects. We are curious to know your opinions on these matters. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the latest news and tips related to crypto. And make sure to keep your notifications on so you'll be updated with our latest videos. We frequently post so you wouldn't want to miss them. In today's video, we will be talking about whether this upgrade will allow Ethereum to flip Bitcoin. The goal of the merge is to make Ethereum more scalable. We cannot deny that there is still the problem of it being centralized. However, this problem can still be addressed in the future as developments are continuously happening within the crypto world. Despite all these, Anthony Lorio, one of the founders of Ethereum Crypto, remains hopeful that Eath has a good chance of flipping Bitcoin. We'll talk about it more as we go along in this video. So, let's get started.
So, I first heard of Bitcoin in 2012, and being from Toronto, I started looking for a community as it was something that really enthused me as a technology that could empower people to be their own bank, to be in control of their digital assets. And as a technologist and someone who's been into computers since the early 80s, it was really a good fit for me when I first heard about it. I've always been a very freedom-oriented person and never liked being told what to do and never liked normal. So I saw these technologies something equivalent to the rise of the internet back in the 90s, and not just about the democratization of information, which is what the internet brought along, but about the democratization of value and being able to own personal digital assets. And the biggest breakthrough of Bitcoin was that for the first time ever, you had an asset that couldn't be duplicated, a digital asset that could not be duplicated. And for properties of money, it made a lot of sense. So I went headfirst in 2012, and along the way, I looked for a community in Toronto of other like-minded enthused people, and there was set up. So I started the Toronto Bitcoin Meetup group in 2012. And at the very first meetup that I hosted, Vitalik Buterin was there. And Vitalik at the time was a teenager who was going to Waterloo University in Toronto. And over the next year or so, we got to know each other very well. And I was starting to build wallets, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin wallets at the time. And Vitalik showed me the white paper for Ethereum in November of 2013. And I passed it on to some people like Charles Hoskinson, who I'd gotten to know doing some more Bitcoin advocacy work that we were both involved in. And at the time, I was setting up a physical location in Toronto to bring together people in a space that were excited and interested around Bitcoin and decentralized technologies. And that became the first home of Ethereum, the first offices, hired the first staff out of there, and set up the first entity called Ethereum Canada back then. And then eventually we ended up moving things to Switzerland just for a little more certainty in terms of rules and regulations of where to do things. So we set up in Switzerland and added a few more founders to the team in early 2014. And I funded the operations up until we raised the crowd sale money. So we ended up raising $18 million to fund the building of the product. And prior to that, an exit that I had in Bitcoin earlier on funded the project up until that, along with money that came in from Joseph Lubin. And then with the money that came in through the crowd sale, where we raised 30,000 Bitcoin from about 9,000 people from around the world, were able to purchase this product that we then developed and launched, and people had that product of Ether in their wallets. And kind of the rest is history. It's grown to be the largest technology behind Bitcoin in terms of different cryptocurrencies. It's something that's expanded beyond finance, whereas many can consider Bitcoin to be limited to its scope. Ethereum really enables much more change in various different sectors. And it's just really grown to this phenomenon, I think, that has become just very substantial and being used by many companies around the world, large Fortune 500 companies. It's being used in changing governance systems. It's being used in changing and be able to change any sector really by removing non-value added participants from the equation of me and you engaging without a lot of the bulk and middle layers that are involved. So it's a technology that kind of there were more founders from Toronto here than the rest of the eight in terms of Joseph, Lubin, Vitalik, and myself, and involved in kind of the hub of bringing people together and starting the community out for Ethereum and Bitcoin in Toronto and in Canada. What had happened was when the capital came in, we had 8 founders at the time, and it was very difficult for decisions and to keep us very efficient and move forward. And there were a lot of different opinions and ways of looking at things, and you had developers on one side and you had more business-minded people on one side, and it was challenging to get things efficiently accomplished. And at the end of the day, when the funding came in, it made sense to be directing most of that money towards development work. Unfortunately, there was a lot of that money lost in some decisions that were made, and when Bitcoin kind of tumbled, and all of the funds were in Bitcoin, and I think the money was lost. So there was a lot of efficiency that had to be made to make sure that the remaining money was directed towards building out the development and building out the software. And at that time, it was just kind of the writing was on the wall that my role was done with the project. And I went back to building wallets and infrastructure, not just for Ethereum and Bitcoin, but for and with the recognition that there was going to be well more beyond Ethereum and beyond Bitcoin as other projects were emerging that were being built on top of Ethereum. So I've always still been involved in Ethereum in terms of building infrastructure and wallets that support Ethereum, but also support a wide range of other projects in the sector, from Litecoin, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, a number of other ones that we support, because I do believe there's a multi-currency, a multi-technology world that's emerging. And right now, I think Ethereum is slated to be the one that is being built on the most. But who knows what that'll be in the future. So I kind of spread beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum and started supporting many other projects as well, and building the infrastructure and tools needed to help empower people to be in control of their digital lives.
In the video, Anthony DeLorio was asked whether he thinks that Ethereum can flip Bitcoin. He said that at first, he does not think Ethereum is the be-all network. He thought that there are other competitors and coins that can flip Bitcoin. Aside from that, he thought that there are challenges that can hinder the rise of Ethereum, or any other Bitcoin for that matter. However, upon continuous exposure to Bitcoin in the crypto world, he realized that there are concerning issues and upgrades that other coins are facing. The upgrades do have some trade-offs. At this point, we think that he is possibly referring to the scalability trilemma of Vitalik Buterin. It describes the problem of balancing the aspects of scalability, security, and decentralization in crypto systems. There are coins that offer upgrades at the expense of some of these aspects. Of course, this would lead to problems. If it is not solved, it can even collapse and blow out, as exhibited with what happened to some coins in the past. According to DeLorio, Ethereum does not look like the others in a way that it remains steady despite the growing demand and updates that it underwent. DeLorio sees Ethereum as capable of gradually unfolding its upgrades to ensure that all risks and possible repercussions are taken into account. Ethereum is even willing to delay progress if they deem it necessary to ensure that all elements are properly accounted for. Anthony believes that Ethereum has a good chance of flipping Bitcoin if it continues going in the direction that it is taking right now. He also believes in the idea that a market cap can outpace another market cap at a certain point in time. At the end of the video, he made it a point to emphasize that he is not absolute about Ethereum flipping Bitcoin, but he believes that it is a good possibility in the future. Anthony's interview is really interesting, but before I tell you what I think about it, I want to ask your opinion. Do you think ETH can flip Bitcoin? Do Ethereum's current and pending upgrades seem enough to finally take the position of crypto's giant, Bitcoin? Let us know what you think by commenting your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, if you haven't given this video a like and subscribe, spare yourself a few seconds by doing it now, so you will be a part of the growing community that we have here at Diversified Streams. Here are my thoughts about Anthony's interview. His opinion about ETH beating Bitcoin is a tactical move. He is not claiming anything with certainty, but he showed that he's really confident with the new upgrade of ETH. It shows his knowledge about cryptocurrency. The market is really volatile. One moment, ETH is second to Bitcoin. However, this might not be the case forever. One way or another, the market will always move because all cryptocurrencies exhibit significant price swings, a characteristic known as volatility on Wall Street. Investments in cryptocurrency are very volatile. This is due to the fact that cryptocurrency lacks an inherent value. Putting money into a risky investment is a surefire method to increase volatility in your portfolio. As a result, the investment's price is extremely sensitive to even minute changes in investors' expectations or perceptions. This indicates that the investment's worth isn't well anchored. Because of this, Anthony cannot claim for certainty that ETH would remain valuable to people to be able to flip Bitcoin. Maybe the merge will make it more enticing, but there is no guarantee that it will continue for a prolonged period of time. Another reason why it is tactical not to be absolute about his claim is that there are many factors that can affect market volatility. A coin might become bull-capped for a variety of reasons. It can be because people adopt it. Sometimes it is about the narrative. Sometimes things move forward due to hype, and other times it is just price commotion itself. In essence, the price starts to rise and keeps rising since the overall environment is favorable. Currently, everything seems favorable to ETH. It is getting hyped by a lot of people. It is also getting adopted by many users due to its new upgrades. Lastly, they currently have the momentum. As long as they can maintain this said momentum and no problems will rise along the way, then they really have a good chance of overtaking Bitcoin. The market is affected by demand and supply. With Ethereum's merge, it has already attracted a lot of attention and people are either adopting it or trying to get a hold of it. Because of this, the supply and demand of the coin is already changing. With these changes, the rise of the ETH can either be achieved or not. On the demand side, the merge has opened up a new use case for ETH. Institutions can use ETH in stocks, bonds, and finances. Hence, these additional use cases become assets for the system. Aside from that, players can now stake natively to make some passive income. Of course, it would attract a lot of investors and business people who want to earn profits. Staking in ETH makes people's funds more secure because of the validator setup that the proof-of-stake mechanism. I believe that this is what Anthony has in mind when he says that there is a good chance for Ethereum to flip Bitcoin. It is still a secured network as the validators are being randomly assigned. It can also be cheaper as the system will now use the power-efficient proof-of-stake. Lastly, there is a hope that the whole system would become more decentralized as the days pass by. No one really knows what would happen in the future. Of course, this includes not knowing what would happen to the volatile world of cryptocurrency. Whether Ethereum will really flip Bitcoin or not is something that we all need to see as it unfolds in the coming days. One thing's for sure, whatever happens in the future will surely create a huge impact in the crypto world. And that is it for today's video. There is a good chance for Ethereum to flip Bitcoin in the future if it keeps with its momentum. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. As always, if you did, please show us some love and support by giving this video a big thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. And make sure to keep your notifications on so you'll be updated whenever we post new videos on all things related to crypto. This has been Diversified Streams. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you in our next video.